I'm Legend here at Kollision Con 2013 with.
Richard Horvitz.
Oh my God! I'm sorry, I'm a gigantic fan of all of your work. It's so intense right now. All right, so we wanted to ask really quick. Do you remember your first voice acting gig?
My very first voice acting gig was a commercial for, I think it was Chevy cars, and I had one line. I said, "Bye, Dad." I said, "That's it? That's all I'm doing?" They said, "Yeah, we get paid the same as everybody else who has a ton of lines." I'm like, "All right, I'll do that. Bye, Dad. Bye, Dad. I'll do that till the cows come home." My first animated job, I believe, was a show called Prince Valiant. It was with Robbie Benson and Rob Paulson and Charlie Adler and a big group of really big-time voiceover people. So that was my very first gig. Yeah, my first animated gig.
Do you rewatch what you voiced in and sort of hey, there I am?
Sometimes, not too often. I mean, it depends if it's a series that I did regularly, then they're still on, and I'll hear them. Like just the other morning, I turned on the TV, and Billy and Mandy's Big Boogie Adventure was on. So that I watched a little of that, and I went, okay, turn.
Oh, so it's easy kind of just to rewatch the cartoon for what it is instead of hearing yourself?
Yeah, I'm not too judgmental. I watch it. I often think I might have done something differently, a different take on something, but yeah, once it's out there, I don't think about it too much unless I'm at a convention or people like the show or ask me questions about it.
So how do you like coming to conventions?
I love it. I've done a lot of conventions this year. It's great to see your fan base because you're in a booth and it's dark and it's padded walls and you're with your cast members and you're just kind of playing with your other cast members and laughing and having a good time just hanging out and recording. And then you remember when you come to these conventions, oh yeah, this went out to the world. Yeah.
What surprised you the most about coming to conventions? Has anything taken you back a little or surprised you?
Not particularly. I mean, I've seen a lot in the years that I've been doing this, so nothing really surprises me anymore. I like when people cosplay as some of my characters. That's fun. Someone cosplayed as Muscular Beaver in a convention I did in Florida, I think. It was an awesome costume. Because I think it was kind of a random character. It'd be one thing to just be Daggett, but they were Muscular Beaver as Daggett, and I thought that was pretty cool.
It's pretty unique. So, I can't hold it really quick. Angry Beavers is one of my favorite cartoons ever. I have an older brother, and he acts smart. So of course he was Norbert, and I was always be Daggett, and I think I almost wrapped my personality around that because now he's becoming a doctor now, and he's still Norbert. I'm still sort of
So wait a minute, are you saying that Daggett wasn't smart?
Nobody. He liked to get at his brother,
Well, it's funny. You would be amazed at how many sisters or brothers come up and say, "Oh my gosh, my sister and I were exactly you guys. I was Daggett, he was Norbert, or she was Norbert." And a lot of dads love Angry Beavers. People come up to me all the time and say, "Oh, my dad loved Angry Beavers." So that's pretty cool.
I think we still quote it to this day. I call him Little Spooty, and he's like,
Spooty Spoot? Yeah.
He likes to imitate Norbert. Oh, Legend, you're doing this bad.
Yeah, Spooty Spoot.
Do you do your voices a lot for your kids or around your family?
No, never.
Never?
Never.
Do your kids know about your work?
Yes, but I think their friends are more impressed than they are.
Oh, so it's normal for them now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm just dad to them,
You just dad, voice actor.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's pretty cool.
Although, when Invader Zim came out, my kids were very young. One of my sons wasn't even born yet. And when my oldest son was only 6 when the show came out. So it kind of scared him. It was kind of a freaky show for him, and he wasn't really into it. But when he became a teenager, then suddenly it was cool. Then he started watching the shows, unbeknownst to me.
Oh. Did you, not let them watch it for, a period of time?
No. I never believed that it was inappropriate in any way for kids to watch, ever. I thought it was a cool show.
It was. So I wanted to ask you about your sort of preference in roles. Was there any that was more fun to do or easier?
Well, I'm currently doing a game right now called Broken Age with Tim Schafer, who did Psychonauts, which I also voiced. I like Tim's games because I'm never too manic or yelly. A lot of my characters are yelly, loud characters. But I'm doing one now called Broken Age, in which I play a very different character than I've ever played. I play a character named Navbot. And he's very much like a very easygoing British guy. He's called the Space Weaver. Where would the young master like to go today? Very easy, very simple. But other than that, I love playing all my characters because they're part of me, and I'm kind of loud and animated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like, is there one you had the most fun with? Like you could just like go crazy and there's no.
You know what? I was always very lucky that the creators I worked with, like Mitch Schauer and Maxwell Adams and Jonan Vasquez, just they understood that I was an improviser by nature, so they just kind of let me do my thing.
Oh, all right. So I wanted to ask you about a new show that you're doing called Dead Meat.
Ah, yes, Dead Meat. Dead Meat is a web series about a post-apocalyptic world that's part animation and part puppets. And I play a character called Malaka Waka. And it was a Kickstarter program that was just funded yesterday, as a matter of fact, the day before. And it was created by my dear friend Maxwell Adams, who created The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, I do the voice of, it's a puppet with two faces, and I do both voices.
Any tips for people who are trying to get into the business of voice acting?
Yes. My tips for people that are trying to get into voice acting are the same tips I always give, which are take acting classes first. Start with sketch comedy, improv classes, and acting, because it's not about how many voices you do. You can do a ton of voices, but if you don't have the acting chops, because we don't create voices, we create characters. This is a shout out to Street Level Anime Club from Invader Zim and Billy and Daggett and Alpha 5.